Welcome to the newest incarnation of Loopzine TV. The original interactive multimedia webzine was started in 1998 and posted on the internet in Macromedia Flash. You'll find 200 articles, archived on YouTube as videos. But today, the content has changed from darkwave music to academic papers about electronic music. Several different AI tools from Gemini and Grok are used in the creation of this video.
Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating paper from way back in 2000 by Simon Waters that was honestly incredibly ahead of its time. It makes this big argument that digital technology isn't just another tool for musicians. Nope, it's a force that has completely reshaped the very DNA of music itself.
I mean, we usually think of tech as just something that helps us do things, right? Makes things faster, easier. But this paper asks a much deeper question. What if the tools we use actually change the art we make with them? What if they're not just passive things we pick up, but active collaborators in the whole creative process?
So to really get the scale of what's happening now, we have to rewind a bit. Before we could record sound, music was an experience. It happened right there in front of you, and then, poof, it was gone. It was totally fleeting. But then the phonograph came along and changed everything. All of a sudden, music became a physical thing, an object you could buy, you could hold, and you could play whenever you wanted. That was the first monster technological shift.
And the core idea here is that we are living right in the middle of the next huge transformation. Digital tech is creating what the author calls a new digital aesthetic. And it's not just changing how we get our music, it's changing what it sounds like, how it's even made, and what we even think a song is in the first place.
Okay, so what does this new aesthetic actually look and sound like? Well, the first big area is this kind of strange paradox in the sound itself. This idea of the perfect, but flawed sound.
You see, the original promise of digital audio was just purity. The whole goal was to get this perfect, high-definition sound totally free of all the tape hiss and the vinyl crackle, all the noise that was just part of older recordings. It was this quest for mathematical perfection.
But a funny thing happened on the way to perfection. It turns out, a lot of artists and listeners started to feel like this crystal clear sound was, well, sterile. It felt cold, it didn't have any character, it was almost too clean, you know? It was missing that warmth, that human touch that analog stuff had.
So what happened? As a reaction to all this digital cleanliness, a whole bunch of artists started deliberately putting the imperfections back in. They started adding digital dirt, distortion, glitches, and noise to their tracks. They were literally using the tools of perfection to create intentional flaws, to bring back a sense of physicality and, a human presence in the machine. It's like we're searching for that fingerprint on the clean surface of the digital world.
All right, the next key idea is all about the physical act of making music, or as the paper puts it, action without sound. And this one's a real mind-bender.
Just think for a second about any traditional instrument. You hit a drum, you bow a violin, you press a piano key, there's always a direct, physical cause and effect.
The amount of energy you put in is directly connected to the sound that comes out, right? You hit the drum harder, you get a louder sound. You blow faster into a flute, you get a different tone. The action and the sound are totally, fundamentally linked.
Digital technology just comes in and shatters that link completely. The paper uses this brilliant term. It says it decouples the relationship, separating the physical gesture from the sound it makes. And you see this everywhere now. The effort of clicking a mouse has absolutely no physical relationship to the sound of a 100-piece orchestra swelling up to this huge crescendo. A tiny, almost effortless physical action can unleash a sound that is just immense and incredibly complex. The old rules of effort and reward, they just don't apply anymore.
And this completely changes what it even means to be a musician. The performer isn't just a physical player anymore. They become what the paper calls an intervener. They're someone who guides, who curates, who triggers sounds. They're acting more like a conductor of digital information than a traditional piano player.
So this leads us right into our third huge shift, the idea that the song itself isn't really a finished product anymore. We have absolutely entered the age of the never-ending song.
See, for most of history, we thought of a piece of music as a musical object. It was a complete thing, it was fixed in time, whether that was a written score or a pressed CD, it had a clear beginning, a middle, and end. It was done. Finished. But digital files aren't like that. Not at all. They're fluid, they're malleable, you can edit them forever, and this totally transforms music from being a static object into being this dynamic, continuous process. A song is never really finished anymore. It's just a snapshot in a potentially infinite chain of different versions.
I mean, just think about the life cycle of a song today. An artist makes a track and an official version gets released. But that's just the starting line. Pretty soon, fans are making their own remixes. Then other artists sample it for their own songs. And before you know it, it becomes a viral audio trend on social media, taking on a whole new life of its own. The song is always in a state of becoming something new.
So when you put all of these changes together, the sound, how music is made, how it's shared, they all add up to this one massive social consequence. A world of music without walls.
All those old boundaries are just dissolving. The line between the composer who writes the music and the performer who plays it, that gets pretty blurry when it's often the same person sitting at a computer. The line between the artist and the audience, that breaks down completely when fans can remix and reinterpret the work themselves. And that old wall between so-called high art and pop culture, it just crumbles when the same powerful tools are available to literally everyone.
And this brings us to the ultimate conclusion here. What we're seeing is this fundamental shift in our relationship with music. We're moving from a world where music is a product we consume to a world where it's a living, breathing, digital conversation.
Which leaves us with one final big question to think about. In this new world, we're not just passive listeners anymore. We're curators, we're remixers, we're sharers, we're active participants. So if music really is a conversation now, it's worth asking ourselves, what part are we playing in it?